Roman Reigns is undergoing a major character change. WrestleMania 41 feuds have failed to live up to the hype. WWE is evolving into a bad product. The Rock replacing WWE CCO Triple H. Ronda Rousey provides a major health update. Three-time AEW champion officially confirms he has joined WWE. Seth Rollins confronts a fan at a live event. Seth Rollins erases Dean Ambrose from WWE history. John Cena brutally attacked. Let's dive right in. WrestleMania 41 feuds have failed to live up to the hype. WrestleMania 41 is just 3 weeks away. With 12 or 13 matches to set up every year, WWE usually nails the planning for each storyline. The big title fights, like Cody Rhodes against John Cena and Jey Uso taking on Gunther, get the most attention. The women's championship matches also shine brightly on Raw and SmackDown each week. Even when top stars aren't in title hunts, they still grab a ton of screen time. WWE has done solid work with lots of WrestleMania 41 rivalries, but a few have crashed hard. Here are 4 feuds that just aren't hitting the mark, and it's got everyone talking for all the wrong reasons. Number 1, Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton is way too easy to guess. Randy Orton came back at Elimination Chamber, and right away everyone figured he'd clash with Kevin Owens at WrestleMania 41. KO smashed Orton with a pile driver, then said sorry to avoid a brutal punt kick. Orton keeps tossing out the same old trash talk, calling Owens jealous and crazy, even though KO has explained his side over and over. The Legend Killer just echoes what everyone else says about him. They've barely fought physically, probably saving it for a big chaotic brawl everyone knows is coming. Randy's already booked for Backlash, the ads say, so he's obviously winning at WrestleMania 41. It's tough to get excited when the next event already spoils the ending and lines up the big names. Number 2, AJ Styles versus Logan Paul might start on Raw. AJ Styles bumping into Braun Breaker had people pumped. 2 generational stars facing off, that's gold. But nope, WWE ditched that idea. Instead, Logan Paul slid in with some sly compliments to Styles backstage. Does anyone really want this match? AJ's been beltless for years. Why not give the phenomenal one a shot at a title instead? Logan swore he'd live for wrestling when Raw hit Netflix, but he's barely around. I'm all in on this, he claimed, yet he's juggling too much outside the ring. This fight's just a setup to boost Paul and probably snag him a title shot after WrestleMania 41. Number 3, Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton feels flat compared to old WrestleManias. Bayley's 2024 Women's Royal Rumble win had years of drama behind it. She built damage control, they stabbed her in the back, and it made an epic journey to WrestleMania 40. Charlotte Flair's second Rumble win? Not even close. WrestleMania 41 being 3 weeks later than usual doesn't help. The Queen's been gone a year, and it feels like WWE handed her this spot to make up for missing last time. She picked Tiffany Stratton, and the build-up's been boring. Standard brawl, basic interview, Flair jumping the champ after matches. Plus, Charlotte's too cocky to ever hype her opponent. If she doesn't take Stratton seriously, how are new fans supposed to care about her? Number 4, John Cena and Cody Rhodes have a rock-sized problem. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41 has one giant snag, The Rock. The Great One made a huge fuss about stealing Rhodes' soul, got shut down, and then vanished. Cena flipped heel, teaming up with his old enemy to ambush the American Nightmare. Here's the thing. Cena already locked in a title shot by winning Elimination Chamber. He didn't need The Rock to turn on Rhodes. The heel switch was smooth and had the crowd roaring, but The Rock's cameo feels pointless now. He's out of the picture, Cena says, left to explain his attitude shift solo. 1 or 2 more appearances from the final boss could have tied it all together. Without that, it's a messy loose end. WWE is evolving into a bad product? Vince Russo has been unloading his gripes about WWE lately, warning that the company's slipping fast. He thinks it's on a path to crash and burn if things don't change. Russo's never been shy about slamming the Stamford crew, especially when it comes to their stories. Now, he's pointing at Triple H signing Penta and Fenix as proof the boss is dragging WWE down. On his show Writing with Russo, he didn't hold back, saying the company's a shadow of its old self. He's convinced it's heading for trouble. Maybe not today, but soon enough. Here's what he had to say. The bastardizing of the product has been going on for a very long time. And I am telling you, bro, I don't care what anybody says, a bad television product is gonna catch up with them. I am just telling you. I don't know when. It could be 3 years from now. I don't know when it's gonna be. But I am sorry. There is no way you dags are gonna continue to put on a bad product and do this kind of business. Russo's not stopping there. He's calling out both Triple H and Tony Khan, saying neither of them knows how to run wrestling like a proper business. On the same Writing with Russo episode, he tore into their choices, claiming they're acting like obsessed fans instead of smart bosses. Here's how he put it. I have said it a million times. Tony Khan's a mark, Triple H is a mark. They are a mark. They are not making business decisions. They are making wrestling mark decisions. To Russo, it's all adding up to a big mess that could sink WWE if they don't turn things around. The Rock replacing WWE CCO Triple H. A wrestling old-timer has dropped a bombshell about Triple H's future as WWE's chief content officer. He says it's only a matter of time before the game gets swapped out for a huge name, The Rock. Triple H has been steering the creative ship in Stamford since 2022. Even when Vince McMahon came back in 2023 and meddled a bit, Triple H has made it loud and clear he's been calling the shots since McMahon left for good last year. Stephanie McMahon even kicked off the Paul Triple H Levesque era at WrestleMania 40. But Vince Russo, a former WWE head writer, isn't buying that it'll last. On his Before My Head Explodes podcast, he called Triple H a sitting duck and said, The Rock, a TKO board member, is waiting in the wings. Russo questioned whether Endeavor, the big company that bought WWE, would stick with a wrestler like Triple H or go for a proven winner like The Rock. Here's what he said. In my humble opinion, and I've been talking about this for quite a while, Triple H is a sitting duck, man. He is a sitting duck. There was just a buyout and a takeover of Endeavor. This is a conglomerate business. And I gotta tell you, do you want a wrestler to run a major part of your company? Or do you want a proven businessman, a superstar, somebody who is hobnobbed with presidents, somebody who just everything he touches turns to gold? That's The Rock, man. That ain't Triple H. Russo didn't stop there. He reckons if The Rock decides to ditch Hollywood and jump into WWE full-time, Triple H is toast. He thinks The Rock's got too much pull, and Triple H will get shoved out the door just like others before him. He painted a picture of The Rock biding his time, ready to swoop in when he's done with acting. He added this on the same podcast. You know, Rock is still box office, but here's the thing, man. Rock isn't always going to be box office. And, you know, Rock is going to get older, and Rock is going to lose some of his appeal, and there is going to be a time when Rock is going to be offered a deal that he cannot refuse. And I gotta tell you something, man. When that day comes, they are going to drop Triple H like a hot potato. Russo's betting WWE will throw a massive offer at The Rock one day, and when that happens, Triple H won't stand a chance. It's a wild theory, but with The Rock's star power and his spot on the TKO board, it's got people wondering if the big switch is coming. Ronda Rousey provides a major health update. Ronda Rousey has done it all. Mixed martial arts champ, pro wrestling star, you name it. She ruled as UFC's bantamweight champion before switching gears to wrestling, where she even snagged a world championship. Now, the 2008 Olympic bronze medalist has shared some big news about her health. On Instagram, she posted a video of herself training, tossing Rana Willink, daughter of retired Navy officer and podcast king Jocko Willink, onto a crash pad. In the caption, Rousey spilled the details. Her ligaments are finally tight again, and she's thrilled that years of hard work and training are still paying off. Here's what she wrote. First throws with Rana Willink on the crash pad. Now that my ligaments are officially tightened back up. Nice to know that the years of countless repetition are still paying off and they still got that whip to them while your mom tage. Let's be real. Ronda Rousey pretty much built the UFC women's division from the ground up. She was the first woman to win a UFC title and crushed it until Holly Holm knocked her out at UFC 193 in Australia. After that, she took another hit from Amanda Nunes at UFC 207, and that was it. She never stepped back into the cage. Fans still dream of seeing the 38-year-old fight again, but last year she shut that down for good, blaming health problems. She explained it like this. It's nice to feel missed, I guess, but it's not happening. I'm not neurologically fit to compete anymore at the highest level. I just can't. You just get to a level where the neurological injuries you take accumulate over time. They don't get better. Once she hung up her MMA gloves, Rousey jumped into pro wrestling. She hit up some indie shows in 2023, but her last WWE match was that year too, an MMA rules loss to Shayna Baszler at SummerSlam. Now, with this health update, she's showing she's still got some fight in her, even if it's just on the training mats. Three-time AEW champion officially confirms he has joined WWE. Triple H is stacking the WWE deck, and the latest big name to join is a shocker. After weeks of hints and whispers online, WWE dropped the bomb on SmackDown last night. Three-time AEW champion Fenix is officially coming aboard. One half of the high-flying Lucha Bros, Fenix took to social media to confirm the news himself, putting all the rumors to rest. He's been tied to WWE ever since his brother Penta made the jump to the Stamford crew. Things got messy when AEW's Tony Khan tacked extra injury time onto Fenix's contract, blocking him from leaving sooner. But earlier this month, Khan flipped the script, letting Fenix and a few others walk free. WWE didn't waste a second, teasing his arrival with mysterious video clips. Last night's SmackDown sealed the deal with a new promo, announcing Fenix's debut next week. No clue yet if he'll step into the ring right away, but the wrestling world's losing its mind over this one. Fenix made it official by tweaking his X/Twitter bio, now calling himself a WWE superstar. His landing spot on SmackDown means he and Penta won't be teaming up just yet. Penta's over on Raw, and it looks like they'll stay apart until the next draft shakes things up. On Writing with Russo, ex-WWE head writer Vince Russo weighed in on Triple H splitting the Lucha Bros to push them as solo acts. He wasn't sold, saying it's all about pleasing the diehards. Here's what he said. Probably, but then again, that is so catering to the freaking marksman. I swear to God, they trying to get new fans, and a masked audience is not even on their radar anymore. I mean, what casual fan is gonna know these were the Lucha Brothers on AEW? I mean, nobody is gonna know that. And not only that, bro, but nobody cares. But that's exactly why they are doing this. Fenix's timing is tight. WrestleMania 41 is just weeks away. Could he sneak onto the card? Meanwhile, Penta's already making waves on Raw. Last week, he took a swing at Braun Breaker's Intercontinental title, but got derailed by the Judgment Day, ending in a DQ. All the signs are pointing to a wild multi-man showdown for that belt at WrestleMania 41. The Lucha Bros might be on different paths for now, but they're both ready to tear it up in WWE. Seth Rollins confronts a fan at a live event. Seth Rollins wasn't in a good mood tonight at a live event in Vienna, and one fan found that out the hard way. It all started when Rollins spotted a CM Punk sign in the crowd. Clearly annoyed, he walked over, flashed a double thumbs down at the fan, and then stormed backstage. In just a few weeks, Rollins and Punk will lock horns again, this time with Roman Reigns thrown into the mix for a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41. WWE made it official. These three heavyweights are set to collide at the biggest show of the year. At the Vienna event, that fan sign really got under Rollins' skin. He didn't just ignore it, he made a point to march over and let them know how he felt with those two thumbs down. Things between Rollins and Punk have been heating up for a while. Back at the Raw Netflix premiere earlier this year, Punk scored a huge win over Rollins, but that didn't settle the score. A few weeks ago on Raw, Rollins flipped the script, beating Punk in a steel cage match after Roman Reigns jumped in and messed things up for Punk. Now, all three are on a collision course for WrestleMania 41 in April. It's a big deal. Punk's headlining WrestleMania for the first time ever, and this triple threat is slated to cap off night one of the grandest show in wrestling. The tension's sky high, and that little showdown with the fan tonight just added more fuel to the fire. Seth Rollins erases Dean Ambrose from WWE history. WWE doesn't like giving AEW any airtime, and that includes its stars. So it's no shock that Seth Rollins completely left out his old Shield teammate and current AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley, during a big moment on SmackDown. The Shield might not be together anymore, but Rollins keeps dragging their past into his WrestleMania 41 build-up. Last night at London's O2 Arena, Nick Aldis oversaw a contract signing for a triple threat match pitting Rollins against Roman Reigns and CM Punk at the Show of Shows. The O2's seen some epic Shield moments, and Rollins took the chance to throw one back in Reigns' face, talking about the night 12 years ago when the Shield choppered in and smashed The Undertaker through a table. But here's the kicker. Rollins didn't even whisper Dean Ambrose's name in that story. It's like he scrubbed Moxley from the Shield's legacy right there on the spot. This isn't the first time WWE's dodged Moxley either. Last week, Michael Cole hyped up the Shield but skipped over him too. You could say it makes sense. Moxley's in AEW now, so why give him a shout out that only boosts the other guys? Still, it's funny. Cole did name drop Dean Ambrose a few weeks back when Reigns crashed the party to jump Rollins and Punk. The big news is locked in. Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk are set to tear it up in a triple threat at WrestleMania 41. Paul Heyman dropped the mic last night, announcing it'll close out the whole dang show. For Punk, it's a dream come true. His first ever WrestleMania main event in a career that's already Hall of Fame material. Rollins, though? He looked ticked off, glaring at the bosses for handing Punk that spotlight. Triple H is piling on the drama, and with WrestleMania 41 creeping closer, this storyline's getting hotter by the second. John Cena brutally attacked. Old school wrestling boss Jim Cornette didn't hold back when he talked about John Cena's latest Raw appearance in Glasgow, Scotland. This past Monday, Cena kicked off the show with a nasty promo, tearing into the crowd like never before. He even gloated about crushing that kid from last week, the one decked out in his gear, verbally stomping him into the ground. Cena kept the heat coming, ripping the WWE Universe apart until Cody Rhodes rolled in to shut him down. On Jim Cornette's drive-thru, the ex-WWE manager pointed out something big. Cena's heel turn hasn't come with a flashy new look. Fans might have expected him to go full Hollywood, maybe copying Hulk Hogan or The Rock with a big style switch. Instead, Cornette said Cena just looks like a grumpy, balding guy in a midlife meltdown, mad at the world. Here's what Cornette had to say. People were thinking, is he going to change the music? Are they going to change the look? Is he going to come out gone all Hollywood with The Rock or whatever? No. Now he looks like a balding man having a midlife crisis, and he's pouting. That's the look, that is boo-boo face. The look that he's giving them. When he comes out, he's the opposite of, oh, I'm happy, let's go to work. and I'm gonna slide in. He's walking out. He's looking at those people with boo-boo face like F you. Now, after 2 weeks of throwing verbal punches, Cena and undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes are set to square up again. This time, it's on Monday's Raw in London, England, the last stop on WWE's European tour. They're building to their massive title clash at WrestleMania 41, and so far, Rhodes has been getting the upper hand in their face-offs. With the big fight creeping closer, everyone's dying to hear what these two giants will say next when they hit the ring together. It's been a wild ride already, and it's only getting hotter. Roman Reigns is undergoing a major character change. Roman Reigns has been walking a fine line as a tweener since his WWE comeback at SummerSlam last year, but wrestling guru Sam Roberts thinks the OTC is sliding back into his old ways, judging by what went down on SmackDown. Right now, Reigns is tangled up in a feud with CM Punk and Seth Rollins, and they're all set to clash in a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41. This week on SmackDown, they signed the contract, and Paul Heyman dropped the news that it's headlining one of the nights. Reigns smirked at Punk, telling him to say thanks for making his dream of main eventing WrestleMania come true, while brushing off Rollins' obvious anger. On his Not Some Wrestling podcast, Roberts said he's convinced Reigns is turning back into the cold, scheming tribal chief from his darker days. Here's what Roberts had to say. Roman Reigns came back in such a heroic way in a quest to get the Ula Fala, but there's something about that Ula Fala that poisons the blood of Roman Reigns. Because now that Roman Reigns once again wears that Ula Fala, he is slowly but surely drifting back into that peak bloodline Roman Reigns who, while was as successful, if not far more successful than any WWE superstar has ever been, he was also evil, and Roman Reigns is very, very quickly shifting back into that direction. Roberts didn't stop there. He thinks Reigns played his short team-ups with Cody Rhodes and CM Punk like a chess master, using them to climb back to the top after his WrestleMania 40 tumble. Here's how he broke it down. Roman Reigns that we see now is not the same Roman Reigns that was willing to tag team with Cody. It's not the same Roman Reigns that was willing to accept CM Punk on his War Games team. That Roman Reigns won when he was with Cody. He won when he was with CM Punk. He used up those pieces to put himself back on the pedestal that he needs to be on. He built himself back up to once again main eventing WrestleMania, and instead of looking around and thinking about all the people who helped him get there, he's saying, "You must thank me." Reigns might have handed Punk his big WrestleMania moment, but it lit a fire under Seth Rollins, who's fuming that Punk's getting his way. After SmackDown cut off, the two ex-Shield brothers got into a shouting match. Rollins stormed off in a rage, while Reigns tossed a few last words at the camera as he headed out. This'll be Reigns' 10th time headlining WrestleMania, more than anyone in WWE history, and he's showing that old ruthless edge again, ready to rule the roost.